Hey YouTube, Reupload Videos Fan 2021 here. So today's video is called Caillou Makes Excuses to Avoid Requests and Avoid Singing. And Caillou makes excuses to avoid requests Caillou makes excuses to avoid requests / grounded. The one where he avoids singing songs and where he avoids favorite things and to avoid answering the question. To avoid deciding and avoid other than that. Enjoy. The next step staff members are Jaden and Sophie. Sophie, can you please help me? Jaden says, Caillou, can you please help me? Caillou says, no. Jaden says, please. Caillou says, never. I will never do any requests, so avoid them. Sophie says, Caillou, you do not talk back to me and my older sister, Jaden. That's unacceptable. Try that again. Try that again. Try that again. Try again. Nope. Caillou says, nope, I'm not going to try that again. And guess what? Jess is here, and she has a question for Caillou. She asks, besides Nicole, who's your second favorite character? Who's your second favorite? Caillou says, I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to pick one. Come on. I'm so sick of the second favorite term and the third favorite term. How about we use the other terms? Okay, so who's your number 2 favorite? Besides Nicole, who's your favorite character being your second? Who's your number 2 favorite character? Caillou says, I don't know. Colin says, what's your number 3 favorite show? Caillou says, I don't know. Caillou says, as a matter of fact, I suck at knowing. I suck at them now. I also suck at counting. So, leave me unknown. Jaden, Jess, Colin, and Sophie, you all guys suck. You all are unknown and so mean to me. Fandom doesn't deserve to know anything. Go away, you stupid people. Jaden and Sophie and Jess all cry. Caillou, why would you do this to us? You are very mean to us. And Colin is crying. Caillou, how can you do this to me? You are so unknown and you are so mean to me. Eat me, guys. Eat me. Yeah. You guys will regret this. Colin, Jess, Sophie, and Jaden will all regret this. AJ says, good job, Caillou. Now you made Jaden, Jess, Sophie, and Colin cry because Caillou did not answer the question of favorite things or do any requests. Thanks a lot. Now Cory says, yeah, now me and AJ are so pissed off at you right now. As a matter of fact, we are going to get Miss Nicole and Miss Jen right now. Caillou says, no! Cory says, too late. For Caillou, you are being very bad today. So bad today. I hate you, Caillou. You suck. Miss Jen says, what's going on in here? And why is Caillou very mad? Plus, as a matter of fact, why is Caillou feeling sad? And why is he shocked? Cory says, you are not going to believe what Caillou just did. He just made excuses to avoid requests, and he talked back to his staff members, Jess, Jaden, Sophie, and Colin. Now, they're now all crying because they're very sad. And now Caillou's in big trouble. As Nicole says, what? Oh my God. Caillou, you do not get to talk back to your staff members. Jess, You do not talk back to your staff members, Jess, Sophie, Jaden, or Colin. Ever. You don't get to do this. You don't ever get to do this. Ever. This is rude, disrespectful, and unacceptable, and that's called making fun of people, and that's called bullying, and they can cry. And you can get in big trouble for that. And screaming at all the people is definitely called rudeness, and it's assault, and you can go to jail for that. But luckily, Caillou didn't get arrested. But if he does that again, he's going to go to jail again. Miss Nicole, Miss Jen, Mr. Cory, and AJ are all pissed off at Caillou right now. They're all very mad about Caillou, and they're going to call his dad. So we're going to call your dad right now. No, please don't call my dad. I'm very sorry for talking back to my staff members, and I'm very sorry for not answering the favorite things. And I'm sorry for not answering the questions, and I'm sorry for not listening to them. And I'm sorry for making excuses to avoid requests. Here's another scene. Jaden says, I want you to sing I Want to Dance with Somebody by Whitney Houston. Jess says, how does it go? Caillou says, I don't know. I suck at singing songs. Caillou sings, no, I don't deserve to dance with somebody. These songs, all the good songs suck except for my theme song. Caillou's theme song rocks, and the rest of the good songs suck. These good songs need to fix lyrics, but instead, they were so random, and the notes were just overly played randomly. The same way, but different songs in their different tones people sing, even though Caillou hates singers. He needs these songs to improve, but instead, they were already original. Nope. And guess what? Caillou did avoid singing I Want to Dance with Somebody and other good songs. He avoided singing. So guess what? What? Cory says, you were kicked out of Next Steps for a week! Caillou says, no! AJ says, oh, knock it off, Caillou, and stop this attitude right now. Miss Jen says, yeah, Caillou, you need to stop with this bad attitude or you're going to be kicked out forever. Miss Nicole says, yeah, you better knock it off and be good for the rest of the Next Steps year. And the other Next Steps years. And if you don't behave on the rest of the Next Steps years, you'll be kicked out forever, Caillou. Do you understand me? Yeah, Miss Nicole said, do you understand me? Caillou says, nope, I'm not going to go back to Next Steps in more years. So, Miss Nicole, go away, you mother bleep-er, and shut the bleep up. Same thing for Cory, Jen, and AJ. All of you, shut the bleep up. Miss Nicole says, excuse me, Caillou? Did you just tell us to shut up and swear at us? And did you just say that? Caillou says, yes, I did, because I'm getting sick and tired of helping and doing people favors, and I'm sick and tired of people telling me what to do. Miss Jen says, you know what? Instead of calling Dad, that's it. Instead of calling Dad, I'm going to kick you out of Next Steps for a week, and you are going home right now. Come on. You are going home. Miss Jen says, man, Caillou's a very spoiled, rotten brat. Since February 11, 2026, where he was misbehaving at Chuck E. Cheese's and acted like a spoiled, rotten brat. And yes, Caillou is such nothing but a spoiled, rotten brat. I hate you, Caillou. You bleeping suck. When Caillou got home, Caillou's dad got off the phone with Miss Jen, Miss Nicole, Miss Jen, Caillou's manager, and Miss Nicole, Caillou's employer. Caillou's dad, Boris, Caillou's dad, says, Caillou, I just got off the phone with your manager, Miss Nicole. I just got off the phone with your manager, Miss Jen, and your employer, Miss Nicole. They said that you made excuses to avoid requests, made excuses to avoid singing, and talk back to your staff members, Jaden, Jess, and Sophie. And let's not forget about Ava and Colin. And you all made them cry. And I forgot Ava's crying sound. Yeah. And not only that, for Caillou, you also made Mr. Cory, you also made Cory, AJ, Miss Jen, and Miss Nicole very angry and pissed off at Caillou. Thanks a lot. Now, because of this, Caillou, you are grounded for a week. You have no phone, no computer, no hanging out with friends, no iPad, no tablet, no bullying Zoe, Nicole, Lola, Chase, Logan, Michael, and other Zoe 101 characters, no bullying SpongeBob, Patrick, Squidward, Mr. Krabs, and Sandy, and Plankton, along with the rest of the Nickelodeon characters, no bullying Arthur, Buster, DW, Francine, Binky, or Muffy, Clifford, and Emily Elizabeth, and other PBS Kids characters, no bullying Big Bird, Cookie Monster, Elmo, and Zoe, and other Sesame Workshop characters, no video games of any kind, and no Captain Brainstorm, and none of the above, and no life and furthermore. As your punishment, you are going to write an apology letter to Miss Nicole, Miss Jen, Mr. Cory. Yeah, Cory. You're going to write an apology letter to Cory, AJ, Miss Nicole, Miss Jen, Jaden, Sophie, Colin, Jess, and Ava for what you had done. Now get upstairs to your room right now. And Caillou cries. Caillou's dad says, "Oh, knock it off, Caillou, and go to sleep."